Yeah, I think he got better. Unfortunately, he kind of kept getting stuck at that, 70 pitch mark. I think last night was maybe 74 pitches. And, I think kind of going down and as he goes, he's going to get built up and kind of get it full strength back and, start navigating that third time through a little bit. But really, really impressed with him with kind of what he did. And I like the fastball in some ways. I think it was probably maybe a little bit more control over command. But I think as he gets going, it's going to be more command over control. I like the split. I like his ability to use the changeup and the curveball as well. So he's a guy that I think has a bright future.
You think he's more optimistic about his future than he was before he got here?
He has to be. I mean, he came to the big leagues and performed well against some good teams. So I do think that we'll see him back sooner than later. He's a guy that we definitely have big plans for.
How is Tyler O'Neill doing tonight?
Sore still. He'll hopefully be available tonight off the bench. I think most likely trending towards starting the game tomorrow if all goes well today. And I do think there's a possibility that we'll have him on the bench.
Was that something related to his last injury list then, or just kind of general
soreness? Yeah.
Handley was moved from the concussion list to the regular injury. Is this wrist injury pretty serious?
I don't think pretty serious. I think there was some concern initially that it might be serious, but the initial rounds of testing was negative on that. It seems like it wasn't as bad as I thought. So I think there's probably we haven't been home, right? So I haven't been around him. I don't know what baseball activity he's doing right now. I'll probably have a better idea once we get back home on Friday and we see him and see what he's doing. But I don't think it's that bad. But I could be wrong. I'll find out more for you guys here as we go.
Any further information on Grayson with MRI and what his next steps might be?
Yeah, nothing to share yet, but once we get it, we'll share it with you.
Scott Bluett gotten any word back on the second opinion?
Yeah, not serious, so we'll probably start throwing here soon. So second opinion, not serious. When we get back, I think he might be in Florida rehabbing, but he'll have a ball in his hand here sooner than later.
I know the at-bats from Coby Mayo last night get a lot of the headlines, but how impressed have you been with his defense at first base and how he's progressed there?
Yeah, he's doing better. It's to be a major league average first baseman, he still has a lot of work to do, and he knows that, and that message has been delivered to him. So, again, we're excited about the baby steps and moving forward during this time, and our expectations are really big for the guy, and there's a lot that he's still going to kind of have to do to get to that point.
Jordan Westburg is a great two-hitter for this club. Is that because in a vacuum he'd be a great two-hitter in any lineup across the league, or is it of how he complements Jackson in front of him? This is going back to yesterday. Yeah. I thought of this all night. And then Gunnar behind him. Is it more to do with the people around him that make him such a good two-hitter?
Yeah. So I do think one guy kind of affects another. How all lineups are constructed. I look at theirs right now. You got one of the great players in the game hitting third for them right now. And they got one guy that's in the one hole that's a huge on-base guy right now. So that guy affects Jose in a lot of ways. And then you got a guy named Angel Martinez right now who's just killing us, unfortunately, but he's making Jose better because he's getting on base. So guys do affect each other. In Jordan's case, having a really strong right-handed bat in between two lefties is something that we need and is really important. And also, I love the idea of, you got guys that get on base. Jackson gets on base, and there's some speed. He can steal second. If Westy hits a ground ball, he has the speed to stay out of a double play. So now you have the ability to get to the three-hitter with somebody on base, and you get to your four-hitter with somebody on base. So, yeah, I do think that he's a really good fit for those two guys at the top.
Owens has really cooled off since that red hot start to the season. I mean, really good April, but since then, base percentage has really dropped off. Are you seeing him kind of searching a little bit? What from your point of view, are you seeing him?
Yeah, he's definitely searching. I think that's a great word, searching and working hard to find what he's looking for. So, it feels like every few games, he's about to get going. Tonight might be the night, but it feels like every few games, like he has good at-bats, hits the ball hard, and then he just hasn't been able to sustain it the way we've seen him do in the past. I also do think at times that Seth is a little bit streaky, and I think a lot of great players in the major leagues are that way. And I think right now we're maybe not seeing one of his best streaks, but usually at the end of a bad streak comes a good streak, and that's kind of where we're at, and that's what we expect out of him.
Is there any further word on Ryan Mountcastle going to Norfolk?
Today's Wednesday? Tomorrow.
What do you
Norfolk.
From Zach Eflin tonight?
Yeah, I'll tell you what. If he commands the ball to where he wants to throw. I think he's going to be fine. He's highly motivated right now. I think this lineup, you got to kind of change speeds. I think it's more of a front-back game. But for F, he's really good when he's east-west too, and he's commanding the ball to both sides of the plate. So he's going to have to do it. It's going to be 9 lefties again. I mean, this is a challenge for us. We're throwing so much right-handed pitching, and we don't have a ton of left-handed options in the pen right now. So it's commanding his pitches, it's changing speeds. It's actually all the things that when F is throwing well, it's the things that he does.